Before I start, who is happy with Ethereum's current price point? Nobody? That's a shame. So Ethereum is on a warpath. If you've been following on Twitter, there's kind of bubbling from underground a lot of frustration with ETH the asset, not necessarily ETH the blockchain. And so I wanted to maybe give a way for us as a community to really position Ethereum again as kind of the leading valuable asset. I'm Alon, I'm the CEO of SSV Labs. We are the core team behind SSV Network, the second largest staking protocol on Ethereum. There's no doubt that Ethereum has tech supremacy. If you look at today's roadmap, especially the roll-up roadmap that Vitalik unfolded about 2 years ago, and now going forward with synchronous composability and native roll-ups and the beam chain and all of that, Ethereum has the narrative and has the pathway for tech supremacy. The problem is that we're seeing this divergence between Ethereum, the blockchain, and Ethereum, the asset. Ethereum, the asset, is lagging behind, and there's a very problematic positioning here because one cannot survive without the other. We have to have both of them leading the pack in order for this ecosystem to evolve, and there's no doubt about it that Ethereum, the asset, is lagging behind, and that's really, really shameful. I mean, if you look back at history, there were good reasons to hold Ethereum in the past. And that's the main question we need to answer. Like, why would anyone hold Ethereum in their wallets? It used to be the case in 2017 with the ICOs that in order to participate in ICOs, you had to hold Ethereum. And so buying was the reason why you held Ethereum in your wallet. Then the summer of DeFi came along a couple of years ago, and there was good reason to hold ETH in your wallet because you could provide liquidity. A lot of the counterparty trading happened with Ethereum. And so there was a good reason to hold Ethereum for trading. The problem is, where are we going from here? Obviously, we had Ethereum staking, and it took the stage for a while, but what is the next driver to convince people from Wall Street all the way to the ordinary person buying Ethereum to hold ETH in their wallet? And my position is that Ethereum could be used for security. Not a security the type if you think, securing just Ethereum, but something that we've been developing and thinking of called based applications. Based applications are the idea that we can extend what validators on Ethereum do in terms of functionality and security to protect and secure any type of application, not just EVM applications. If you think about it, almost every decentralized app out there has some off-chain component, at least one. And those off-chain components can actually be secured by Ethereum. We actually can take the validator as an entity, which has a lot of interesting properties, and enable it to opt in into this marketplace of a bunch of different applications that are secured or based on Ethereum validators. That gives way to a lot of different use cases: data availability, oracles, bridges, ZK proofs, AI agents, and so on and so forth. The list is endless. But the common thing here is that we can secure and give functionality to all of those using Ethereum validators. And that's a very powerful thing. So much so that I think that this is going to be the value engine going forward and the reason to hold ETH. Because if we can create that value back to validators, and the validators are essentially Ethereum holders, we can create a really good reason. We can position Ethereum to be the security, the trust layer for the Internet of Value. And the ultimate beneficiaries will be ETH holders. And so much so that I believe we can actually create much more value than staking on Ethereum. And that's pretty incredible and super aligned with what Ethereum is ultimately. Ethereum prides itself and puts a lot of efforts in making sure that it is the most decentralized and the most trustworthy blockchain platform out there. And with based application, we can actually improve that. Imagine solo stakers using programs like the Light of CSM or Rocket Pool, putting a small amount of collateral and taking a whole validator for themselves to run. Now, this validator earns some rewards right now, but not a lot. But if that can be tripled or quadrupled, all of a sudden there's a real business case for solo stakers on Ethereum, making Ethereum more robust. And so it's super Ethereum aligned and creates a real value engine behind why people should earn and hold Ethereum. And we know that because we've been in the staking world for quite a while. SSV was one of the first distributed validators networks to launch. We've launched early 2024. We grew very significantly throughout the last year and a half. Today, on SSV, you'll find 100,000 validators. That's almost 10% of all the stake on Ethereum, 3.2 million ETH. All of them are running on SSV. And we've done that with a lot of different partners, from solo stakers, staking pool, liquid staking, and liquid restaking, institutions, and so on and so forth. So we know and understand the value of really good staking, but we think we can extend that. We've announced the based applications concept back in the end of January, and we are shipping very rapidly. So as we speak, today or tomorrow, we're actually going to launch the public testnet for based applications on Ethereum. And in a couple of months, we'll actually launch it to mainnet. We're going to line a bunch of developers up that will use all of the 100,000 validators on SSV for them as security and generate value back to those validators. There's a good reason to hold Ethereum because that's the only way you can tap into this endless marketplace. So if you want to help make Ethereum the most valuable and most utilized asset again, join us, build a based app, join us as a validator. Thank you.